Hey, what's up folks? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another lesson. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time and if you like the content, please take a moment to subscribe and don't forget to hit that thumbs up button for me. I'd really appreciate it. Today I want to talk to you about the mental side of becoming financially independent. Now everyone understands that becoming financially independent requires some monetary resources. But did you know that the most important resource you need to have is the right frame of mind? You see, it's not about how much money you have or how much money you make. It's about how much you keep and how long you keep it. Think about this. There are new millionaires created every week through various lotteries around the world. But did you know that roughly 70% of those new millionaires will be broke within the first 5 years of hitting that jackpot? And about a third of those will go on to file bankruptcy, which means now they could be worse off financially than before they became millionaires. I wish I had the statistics for celebrities and professional athletes who have gone from rags to riches to rags. My guess is the numbers would be pretty staggering in that area as well. So why is it that these people who seem to have had it all were not able to hold on to it? And what does that have to do with those who are still trying to get it? Well, the answer is quite simple, really. It all goes back to having the right mindset, like I said before. Whether you're trying to build wealth or you want to preserve what you've already accumulated, you have to change how you think and behave when it comes to your money. You have to stop spending and start saving. And while the answer itself is simple, executing it is not quite as easy. You have to realize that we have all been conditioned over time to be consumers. We're constantly bombarded with ads for products and services that are supposed to make our lives more convenient and more fun. We even convince ourselves that we need these things in order to make our lives more enjoyable. Further complicating things is the fact that we are still not being taught financial literacy in a meaningful way in our school systems. So we enter the working world as adults who are not equipped to manage our finances in a way that will lead us to financial independence. The result is that we develop financial behaviors over time that may give us some instant gratification, but really does nothing to support our long-term prosperity. I've said it many times before and I'll say it again. I think it's great that our education system is focused on providing the education and training that students will need in order to secure good paying jobs. But without arming those students with the tools that they will need to manage the money that they will make, how well have you really prepared them? Think about the statistic that I mentioned earlier on lottery winners. If just half of those instant millionaires were wise enough and demonstrated the right financial behaviors, do you realize what kind of impact that could have on our communities? This lack of knowledge combined with the process of brainwashing us to stay consumers hurts not only the current generation but future generations as well. Think about it. If we as parents don't develop the right financial behaviors, how can we teach our children how to behave when it comes to their finances? So it stands to reason that the opposite would also be true. If we focus on developing the right behaviors now, we can then pass on that knowledge to our children and they can pass it on to their children. That's how you begin to build generational wealth. So how do we turn things around? How do we change the trajectory of our financial future and the financial future of our children? Well, I believe that the first step is to recognize that you've been conditioned to fail. It's true. You have been trained to be a consumer. And as long as your focus is on being a consumer, you will never have financial independence. So the first step is to stop spending and start saving. Now, when I say stop spending, obviously I don't mean stop spending on everything. What I am saying is that you must make saving a priority over spending. You have to make up your mind that you want to make a change. The best way to break a bad habit is to replace it with a good habit. Remember, our financial behaviors are simply habits that we have either developed on our own or habits that we have been conditioned to develop by society. Well, it's time for you to take control and start reconditioning yourself. Start your process of developing your behaviors by setting goals for yourself. If your spending behaviors have led to high credit card debt, then maybe your first goal should be to eliminate that credit card debt. But you should not only plan what you're going to do, but how you're going to do it. Chances are that if you have high credit card debt, it is more than likely negatively impacting your credit score. So a good strategy might be to get your credit card debt below 30% utilization, which should improve your credit score. Your improved credit score may qualify you for a new card that has an introductory rate of 0% for balance transfers. Then you transfer your remaining debt to the new card and save on interest as you continue making payments. Just make sure that you can pay the remaining balance off before the introductory period ends. If you need help planning your debt elimination, take a look at my video on debt freedom. And for help managing your credit score, check out the playlist on credit. Once you have your credit card debt paid off, take the money that you were spending every month to pay off that debt and start saving or investing that same amount. Now you've turned a poor behavior or bad habit into a good one. Now obviously credit card debt is just one aspect of your financial behaviors. You really need a comprehensive plan that examines all of your spending and saving in order to reach your financial goals. That's why you also need a budget. And don't let the word budget scare you. People hear the word budget and it makes them want to run away from their problems rather than deal with them head on. But building and managing a budget these days can be as simple as installing an app on your phone. And speaking of phones, this may be another area where you can change your behaviors. The average smartphone price in 2020 was over $500, and that was for the less fancy models. The average price for the premium models, the ones with all the bells and whistles, was over $1,000. This is also another area where you have been conditioned to be a consumer. Let's say you purchase one of those $1,000 phones. First of all, they make it easy for you because you don't have to pay for that phone all at once, right? They let you spread the payments over 2 years and they don't even charge you interest. Sounds like a good deal, right? So now in addition to your monthly bill for phone service, you're now paying an additional $41 a month for the new phone. But have you noticed that as you near the end of that 2-year period, certain features on your phone stop working like they should? Do you really think that's just a coincidence? I don't. I think the phone makers designed the phones and the updates that you're forced to do in such a way that they begin to conflict with one another after about 2 years to force you to buy a new phone. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do think there's something going on with these phones. Do you really think that in this day and age they couldn't make a phone last longer than 2 years? And think about this. What else would you spend $1,000 on if you knew it was only going to last for 2 years? But we have been conditioned to accept this as normal. We have been programmed to be perpetual consumers. Buy a phone that meets your needs and use the difference to help you reach your other goals. Now, this has just been a couple of examples of how you can stop spending and start saving. I could go on with many other examples, but the point is you have to commit to changing behaviors that have become so ingrained into life that you don't even see them as part of the problem. Until you develop new and better behaviors, you don't realize what your old or current behaviors are costing you. Our financial behaviors are the cornerstone of our financial success or failure. And you know what I always say, if you change your behaviors, you can change your life. So until next time, behave well.